I forgot my coffee. Hold, please. It's officially cold in Connecticut. Fall is here, which means hot coffee is back. I digress. Hi guys, we are back with, you know it, another one. And this is going to be a little short video this week. And honestly, it was mostly just to help me make decisions. So if you watched my last video where we chose our October TBR, this really shouldn't come as that big of a surprise, but we got a really great stack of books. And I finished my most recent book and I was looking at my stack and I could not, for the life of me, decide which book to read. I honestly couldn't even decide which genre to go into. So what I said was, let's pass this responsibility along to my Instagram followers. Let's just avoid all responsibility and make you guys do the hard work. That's how we roll here on this channel. So I took some inspiration from the fabulous, the great Miss Sarah Caroli, and I said, let's blindly pick my next read from my TBR. So without further ado, let's talk about our choices. Okay, so this is the photo that I originally posted on Instagram. As you can see, I blocked out each of our book choices, and what I did was I tried to pick some emojis that more or less not necessarily perfectly describe the synopsis, because I don't want it to be too obvious, but I wanted to like get the vibes, right? Or like at least pinpoint one or two pertinent things that like immediately catch me about the book. And keep in mind, if you have watched my TBRs, you know that my preferred way to go into books is knowing very little about them. Not 100% blind, but relatively blindly. So the emojis that I pick are mostly going to be just like my vibe from the cover or from like the back synopsis. I don't know much more about them. In fact, when I'm watching YouTubers and they start going super in depth into the plot, not even spoiler, just like really in depth into discussing like character traits or plot points, I tap that screen and I fast forward right through it, just because I'll listen to their full thoughts after I've read the book. So this is the first that I put up, and we are going to talk about, I should probably, once again, what kind of video would this be with me if I came in prepared? So let's talk about the book on the left, at least my left, is the orange book. If it's backwards, how does this work? Explain how mirrored images work to me. Like, explain it to me like I'm 5. Anyways, the orange book in this example was Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. So as you can see, I used the flower emoji and the wine emoji. Once again, I know as little as possible about this book, but one thing that I do know is that there are flowers on the cover. She is a gardener and he owns a vineyard and she comes to work on his vineyard. So that's all I know about this book. So I thought the flowers and the wine would be pertinent. And the purple book was An Heir Comes to Rise by Chloe C. Peñaranda. So as you can see on this one, I have the swords and the fairy. Once again, the little I know about this book knows that she, I believe, goes to fight a fairy realm. An impoverished outer town of a kingdom where fae outrank humans. So she's human, but she's got to go and fight the fae. So, a sword and fairies. And you guys chose An Heir Comes to Rise. Secretly Yours got 25% and this got 75%. So it wasn't even close. So I'm super excited to go into this. So we picked our first book, but we have a dilemma here because the second poll that I put up ended exactly 50-50. What are the chances of that? So what I think I might do is I might have to repost it and say we cannot end 50-50. If it ends 50-50 again, we might have to go to some outside sources to break the tie. I'll keep you posted, but in the meantime, let's go start An Heir Comes to Rise. I should also mention that I actually just looked it up. This is a beautiful edition. This is indie published. However, the words really aren't that small, and it's not really that long. It's like 350 pages. However, I don't know why. I've read the last like 10 books, physical copy, and I'm just really, really feeling my Kindle right now. So I did look, and An Heir Comes to Rise for all the Kindle Unlimited people is KU. So I did go ahead and grab it KU. I think I'm going to start it on my Kindle just because I'm kind of feeling a Kindle moment, and we might switch back and forth. So I'm going to at least go start it on my Kindle.
Dance with you, everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes.
Oh, it's so cold. It's so cold. It's so cold. Freezing my ass off while I drink an iced coffee. Can't figure out why I'm so cold, that's for sure. Okay, well, it is freezing. It's like 45 degrees here today. And the cold weather months are where I get a lot of reading done because I hibernate like a bear. Like, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to go anywhere. Stepping outside is literal misery. Like I've said in almost every video, I live in Connecticut. It does get really, really cold here. We've had a couple of mild winters, like snow-wise, so I'm not complaining about that too much. And why wouldn't this be when my furnace kicks on? So sorry about that, but whatever. Like I said, it's cold and my furnace is kicking on. So it's getting really cold. I hate it, but it does really, really good things for my reading. So yesterday I sat down and I read An Heir Comes to Rise on my Kindle, and it made me realize how much how much faster I read on my Kindle than a regular book. I can't explain to you why. Maybe it's that you don't have to keep flipping the pages or something, but honestly, my best guess would be that like my generation and we today in our culture are so used to taking in large amounts of information on phone screens, computer screens, like that kind of like digital immediate information, that I think I might just process faster reading on a digital screen than like reading books or reading words on a page and flipping. I don't know, but I read on my Kindle so incredibly fast. So I sat down yesterday and I got to 50% of the book, and I also hide my pages. Tip: hide your page number. If you tap the bottom corner of your pages, if you tap it a couple of times, it eventually goes away. And for some reason, maybe it's like my OCD, but when the page number is on, that's like all I focus on. I hyper focus on what page I'm on, or like how many minutes until the end of the chapter, or what percentage through the book I am. I hide it and I read 100 times quicker. So anyways, I sat down yesterday and I read to chapter 27, page 194, and I am 50% of the way through the book. Let me grab the physical copy and update that. It's so cold. Here's physical. Chapter, I kind of note it as I go, just when I randomly think about it. So let's update this. That's chapter 26. Here's chapter 27. The chapters are relatively short too, so I'm liking that. Okay. So there's my update. That's how far the way I am through. I'm 50% of the way through. I'm not going to give you my full thoughts until the end, but I am liking it. And I think this is just reinforcing the fact that this book is a case of like right book at the right time, at the right mood. Because I was sitting there reading yesterday, and it just came to me that I was having such a good time. I am 100% in the mood for like YA-ish romantasy. So I'm really liking it so far. I finished half of the book yesterday. My goal is to finish the other half today. And it is really cold outside. So I don't really want to do anything else. I do have to go to Barnes because today is the day that Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig is releasing. You asked, have you read One Dark Window? No, that's a negative. I haven't, but I've heard really good things about it, and the back really intrigues me, and I could tell that this is going to be a book that once I read the first one, like, I'm going to need to go immediately into the second one. So for books that I get that vibe from, I actually hold off, and I don't necessarily want to read them because there is nothing worse than reading the first book in a series, falling in love with it. God forbid it ends on like a cliffhanger, and then you have to wait 9 months for the next book to come out because by that time I've literally forgotten everything, and now I have to reread the first book to go into the second book. So I am going to go grab Two Twisted Crowns. I actually have the ARC on my Kindle, and that's honestly probably how I'll end up reading it because I read so much faster. But I want it for my bookshelf. I have the first one, so I want it. So at some point we might want to take a Barnes trip, but for right now I'm going to go sit down and see how much more progress I can make on An Heir Comes to Rise.
With you, everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. Eyes blue like the ocean. I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
Okay, it is official. I just finished An Heir Comes to Rise by Chloe C. Peñaranda on my Kindle. It was absolutely amazing. I gave this a 4.25 stars. This was so good. I'm going to save my full thoughts for the end of the video, but no, 4.25, super solid book, Kindle Unlimited. There is nothing keeping you from going to read this. I really, really enjoyed my time with this, so highly recommend. Okay, with that being said, let's see the next poll we put up on Instagram. So this is the post that I put up. As you can see, blacked out them and put a little bit of pertinent emojis there. So let's talk about the fuchsia book first. The pinkish purple fuchsia book? I don't know. So on that book, I put the no symbol and the little old lady. And that book was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think that might have been the most obvious choice. So very basically, like I said, I like to go in blind. I don't know a ton about this, but this book is basically about a woman who doesn't age. So there you go. No aging. No little old lady. And then the next book, what is going on? The blue book, I put the star and the villain. This one I don't think was quite as obvious, but that book is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. So I realized there's no thief emoji, but I figured the villain was close enough. It's okay to be a little obscure. So I did The Stardust Thief. Every single time I read the back of this book, it seems like an Aladdin, like a loose Aladdin retelling to me. I don't know. Anyone else comment below if that's how you take it as well, if you've read this book. But let's go and look at the poll. So, this is of course how the poll turned out. 50-50 exactly. It just happened to be that every single vote ended the poll 50-50. So, we needed to improvise, and this morning before school, I went to both my boys and I showed them the photo with the emojis and I asked them to be the tie break vote, and they chose The Star and the Villain. So they chose The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. This is going to be the next book we start. I'm really excited about this, and honestly, funny enough, I usually like alternate my reads. Like I usually go from like romance to fantasy to thriller to romance to fantasy to thriller. But I am in a super fantasy mood right now. I think it's the overcast, rainy, cold weather. So I am definitely feeling The Stardust Thief. I'm really excited to get started. So let's go see how much progress we can make on this today.
You told me there'd be better days, and nothing that can pull us under. You wanna take the pain away, but know that I was born as a fighter. We fade, but we're better than that. We're better than that. I know you know, so why are we holding on, holding on? Yeah, seems like we're back on start, but go. I go right and you go left before it turns to red. It's true.
Okay, I am looking good. Okay, so hi guys. We are currently in my dad's place in Cape Cod. We came up really quickly for the weekend before the winter, just to hang out and spend a little time. So in the past day, I have not gotten that much reading done. It's about a 4.5, 5 hour drive up here. So I haven't gotten too much reading done, but we are going to sit for a little while and do a little bit of reading right now. We are working, as I said, on The Stardust Thief, so I'm going to do a little bit of reading right now, and I'll take you along maybe for dinner with us. I don't know, but we'll talk in a little bit.
He's going over there. I'm good. Yeah.
Go ahead, Day.
No.
For the video. Do it for the gram. Do it for the gram. Poppy, do it for the gram.
Yeah.
For the who?
For the gram. Go with Cole.
Come on, baby.
For the who?
Come here, baby.
Or, no, also I can use that one.
Come here, baby.
Wait, no, it's that guy.
Come here.
No, Poppy, we gotta get to that guy.
All right, come here.
He has the lights.
Come on, Colby.
Ooh.
Come here.
Oh, it's that guy.
He's talking. Come on, Colby. Colby.
Good.
What did
There's
you
only
do? I
one
forgot.
You idiot.
And you can't have red anyway.
Do it.
Yeah, you can.
Reach for it.
You're right.
What is it doing?
Reach for it.
Literally
You
just,
gotta reach. Try to take it.
it's
eyes light up.
Do it. Reach for it. Go ahead.
My bad, sorry. No worries.
I'm good.
Terrified, bro.
Nope.
My headspace been weaker, it's been waiting for the right day. Like the right day ever comes, now it's Friday and nothing's changed. Mistakes that everyone is making, but I can't change. I'm stuck in reverse like an old Benz. Forgot to tap it up. Now I long for
Don't mind the hair. We are officially back home, as you can see, and I just woke up and got the kids to school. This is literally like rolled out of bed, Lindsay. It's been a kind of crazy couple of days, and don't mind the suitcases because I unpacked from our trip. I'm doing all the laundry now, and in less than 48 hours, I'm back at the airport, and we're gone for almost 2 weeks. So every mama out there knows that days before trips for moms are not relaxing. For dads too, but I'm just saying, like, for the moms that pack the family, if you know, you know. So let's give you an update. Still making my way through the Stardust Thief, and the lack of progression is disappointing to me as much as it's probably disappointing to you. I am on chapter 19, page 134. This book is like almost 500 pages, so disappointing disappointing progress. However, this is what I'm going to say about this book. Writing is beautiful. I'm actually generally enjoying the story. Aladdin retelling, loose Aladdin retelling. I'm liking it, and the writing is beautiful. It is one of those books, though, that has like a really good intriguing action chapter and then kind of like 2 chapters of dialogue between it. So I find myself like tearing through, super locked in, hyper focused when stuff is going on, and then kind of 2 chapters of slower reading where I'm a little distractible. I'm liking it, and like I said 3 times now, the writing is beautiful. However, it's just, I don't know if it's because I've been traveling, I've been busy, I've had the boys, I'm like, full disclosure, not prioritizing reading when we're away. Like, I'm prioritizing like hanging out with them and going to the pool and playing tennis and, you know, all this stuff, like making sure my time is on my family when I'm away, but at the same time, it's kind of slowing my progression. So here's what we did. We downloaded it for my Kindle. It was $4.99, which kind of was a waste because I already own the book. I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. However, I've talked about this in other videos. I find myself reading and making so much better progression on the Kindle. So I'm hoping this is going to help me. The other thing too is I think I see the writing on the wall that I'm not going to be done with it in the next 48 hours, most likely, especially with packing and the chaos that ensues in the next 48 hours before vacation, less than 48 hours. And the thought of lugging this on vacation and like in my carry-on is no bueno. So I downloaded it for my Kindle. I downloaded a couple of books for my Kindle. I'm only going to be taking this with me. It is what it is. It's so much easier, and that is one of the benefits of the Kindle. So downloaded it for my Kindle. I have laundry going right now. I have about 40 minutes before I need to switch over the laundry. And it is also Curse for True Love Day, publishing day. So there's a Barnes trip at 10 o'clock that I have to take, and it is 8:54. So I think I'm going to sit down and read for the next 35-40 minutes, switch over the laundry, and then head to Barnes. But let's see how much progress I can make. It is the next day, and don't even ask me how I did it. All I'm going to say is the Kindle never fails me. It literally never fails me. Maybe we should do an experiment. Maybe we should find 2 books on my shelves with the exact same page number and like the exact same size font, and I should read 1 physical and 1 Kindle and see how much faster I actually read on my Kindle. At this point, it's not even like, do I read faster on my Kindle? It's, I absolutely read faster on my Kindle. The question is how much. So tip from me, if you really need to make some serious progress on your book, bite the bullet, download the book on your Kindle, tap on that lower left-hand corner, hide your page number, and just go for it. Because let me tell you something, I read over 300 pages since yesterday to today, and I finished The Stardust Thief. That is crazy, crazy. And like, I feel, I don't know, maybe other people disagree with me, but my eye strain is so much less when I'm reading on my Kindle than when I'm reading my book. When I read the physical book, I honestly feel like it fatigues me. Like I fall asleep holding the book, I drift off, my eyes start closing. That doesn't happen on my Kindle. I can sit there and just flip through and read and I don't get tired. So I finished The Stardust Thief. I am so excited to tell you guys my thoughts on the 2 books that you guys picked on Instagram. But first, as promised, I did take a Barnes trip yesterday and I wanted to show you what I got because it's very exciting. It was like my anticipated releases. So the first thing that I picked up is King of Greed by Anna Huang. This is the book number 3 in the Kings of Sin series. I haven't read any of them, nor have I read any of the Twisted series, which I believe is separate from this, but like goes hand in hand by Anna Huang. And this is apparently about, he had her, he lost her, and he'll do anything to win her back. It's about Dominic Davenport, which I believe is like a king of Wall Street, maybe like mafia guy. I don't know, maybe it's mafia. And let's see, Alessandra Davenport, who played the role of trophy wife. She stood by her husband when he built an empire. Is Dominic her husband? I have no idea. But King of Greed by Anna Huang. The next one I got, I'm actually so excited about. Okay, so I picked up Britney Spears' The Woman in Me. This is her memoir nonfiction book. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like a super Britney stan. I feel like I used to be a way bigger fan of hers back in high school, and like over the years kind of watching her, in my opinion, like struggle mentally and stuff like that, I've kind of stopped following her as much. It's a little one of those things that's kind of painful to watch sometimes. But like I don't follow her on socials or anything anymore. It was just a little too painful to like watch the downfall or the decline of somebody that I think is talented. But my best friend and I did take my best friend to see her when she had her residency in Vegas, and she put on one hell of a show, man. So it was really good. I do like her. I do find her talented. And I'm really excited to read her version of what's gone on with the conservatorship and her life in the past couple of years. It's so easy to judge on social media or to judge through the media. But I can't wait to hear what she has to say about it. So I did pick up The Woman in Me, and I am excited to read it. It's cute. It's short. So I'm ready to read that. And then, of course, the main show, the headliner for our Barnes & Noble trip is the Barnes & Noble exclusive of A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. Yet another series. Never read Caraval. Never read, what is it? Once Upon a Broken Heart? Yeah. Never read any of it, but I am so irrationally excited to dive into that I actually, Kindle Rewards just had a double rewards day yesterday for Kindle books. And although I own the special editions of Caraval, I did just go ahead and download it on my Kindle because I'm like ready. I'm ready to jump into it, and my OCD brain says that I have to read Caraval before I go into this, even though you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to. I've heard it does give something away from Caraval if you read this series first, but it's not super important that you don't. So I did grab that. Why wouldn't my battery have died mid-sentence? But like I was saying, it's a YA book. It was surprisingly like similar to how I felt about Hunger Games in that it was fun. It wasn't too deep. It was action-packed. I did really enjoy the little romance in this. I'm excited to move on. I'm definitely going to keep reading the series. But basically, this book was about a human girl named Faith, who I'm trying to remember what her kingdom was called. forget what it was, but it did have a similar vibe to Hunger Games, where she lived in this like outskirts of the capital, outskirts of the palace village that did have a little bit of poverty. Like the humans were definitely like a lower class than the Fae and the elite who lived in this capital. And she ends up meeting this Fae guard, and it takes them on a journey to try to infiltrate this capital. It was very good. I really liked it. I highly recommend it. I'm definitely going to move forward with the series. So great pick, Instagram. Definitely liked it. Okay, so then you guys, of course, picked A Stardust Thief, and I haven't updated my, look at that. This is what I read yesterday on my Kindle. Do you have any idea? That would have been impossible to read in a day, physical. I just couldn't, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I do have to move my bookmark and take it out, but I just find that insane. So I did pick, I just realized this whole time, there is a hint about where we're going on vacation tomorrow in the background. If you saw it, comment below. Comment what the hint was, because it wasn't supposed to be there. I'm actually gonna move those and put them in my bag as soon after, because I don't want to forget that. So, but I did pick The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I have seen several like synopses and sum ups by other booktubers, and I'm trying to figure out how no one I've seen has mentioned this as a light Aladdin retelling. Like, there are Aladdin vibes. Am I crazy? Like, there's Aladdin vibes. So this story is told in multiple POVs. And basically the female main character is a merchant. She is a magic merchant. She's selling illegal magic around their world. And she meets through a tad bit of deception, Mazin, who ends up being the prince of this land. Once again, what is their land? Medine, I think it's called. Is that how you pronounced it? Medine. He is the prince of the salt. He's the son of the sultan, the prince of Medine. And they end up, through a little bit of deception, have to go on this journey into the desert to find this relic for the sultan that holds jinn magic. And it was beautifully written. It was a little wordy. This does have like epic high fantasy vibes, where like sometimes you find yourself just getting really involved in the world and the plot and the adventure, where sometimes you're reading a chapter and it was a whole chapter of them just like venturing through the desert, and you're like, did we need 25 pages of them walking in sand? Probably not. But I will say, Chelsea Abdullah's writing during those chapters is so beautiful that you do make your way through it and go, oh, I didn't find myself bored, but I don't know if that was necessary. But I do really suggest this for people that are looking for like a blend between like high fantasy and romantasy. The romance was not the central plot in this. It did blend those two categories really well, but it was a really great read. And at the end of the day, I gave this a 4-star. So there you go, guys. That was this week's reading. I finished 2 books that Instagram blindly chose. If you guys liked this idea, comment below and I'll do it again, because I actually had fun like picking the emojis and stuff like that. But with that being said, we leave at 3:30 a.m. to go to the airport, and your girl is sleepy, and your girl is behind on packing, and your girl has about 15 different errands to run. So pray for me. And comment below again where you think we're going, because guess what? I'm not going to leave you guys. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm going to take you with us. So get excited for vacation, because I am, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.